Ah yes, the SOULRENDER, the anti-riot shield melee weapon. Alright, today, welcome back, FNUSA57 here. Once again, I'm on the Xbox Series X, and as mentioned earlier, I will be providing you with a guide on how to quickly unlock the SOULRENDER. This is the new melee weapon for Season 2 Reloaded, and there's about 9 days roughly left on the season, so yes, we're a little bit late in posting the video. Unfortunately, I've been non-stop dropping the Season 2 Reloaded schematics for everyone over there on YouTube and Twitch, so we got a little delayed in recording. Anyways, hopefully you'll enjoy the video. Do me a favor, leave a like on it if it helps you out. Go ahead and use the timestamps in the description if you want to skip ahead in the video to specific challenges. With that being said, let's get started. In order to unlock this, you must complete first one of the segments surrounding the segment B21 in the Battle Pass. If you're doing this outside of Season 2 Reloaded, then that's going to be a little bit of a different story because, well, obviously that Battle Pass won't be there. So, once you have that done, what you need to do is one of pretty much two things. So, doing this during the season, we're going to have to complete 4 prerequisite challenges. Doing this after the season, we are going to have to complete a separate actual weapon challenge. So, the choice is yours, what you wish to do. But to start off with, you are going to need to complete the prerequisite challenges, which consist of unlocking the Jack Burnout kit. It's actually not too bad, surprisingly, and you're going to have to get 5 operator or special zombie kills with throwing knives. So for this one, the Ether Blade does count in zombies, and that's actually why we have the challenge unlocked. I would be showing you how to get these all done in one game, but they're a little bit harder than what you can do in a single match. The next challenge is going to be the Bone Dome, and this requires 10 operator or special zombie melee kills. Pretty darn easy. They can be melees with your fist, the butt of a gun, a bayonet attachment. No, sorry, just kidding. That doesn't count. Or a melee weapon. Then for a 1-hour XP token, you need to get the most annoying challenge, which is 15 operator or special zombie kills with frag grenades or semtexes. Obviously, this is really easy to do in multiplayer. You can pretty much do it in a single game, depending on the map. It's a lot harder to do in zombies, but entirely possible. Lastly, you're going to need the Grave Robber challenge. It's kind of cool, actually, the camo, and you have to eliminate other players or special zombies a total of 5 times with the butt of a gun. Yes, this does count if you add a melee damage muzzle brake. We'll cover that in a second. Once those 4 challenges are completed, then you unlock the challenge for the SOULRENDER, which is to get 10 operator or special zombie crouched melee kills. Again, those kills can be with your fist, with the butt of a gun, or with an actual melee weapon. So that one is not exactly easy to do unless you want to play a door corner camper and just kind of wait and hope somebody crosses your path that you can melee. So I recommend doing these in zombies, and since I'm a zombies player, I will be showing you how to get them done all in pretty much as quickly as possible in zombies. Let's go ahead and get started with that. First off, you're going to need some gear. Link in the description for the tombstone video if you wish to set a tombstone, because that will make it easier. Just to show, as I said, I have been dropping the plans for people, so hence that's why they're in my inventory. I would recommend bringing in at least 1, if not 2, crystals. The level of the crystal can be whatever you want. The higher the level, the easier it will be. If you're still doing the first challenge, an Ether Blade case is very, very handy. You can do this with regular throwing knives, though. The rest of the stuff is entirely up to you, but I would recommend, if you have it, the golden armor plate and some type of ether tool, preferably 2 ether tools. For weapons, you can bring in, just to make this easy, your choice of melee weapon. It really doesn't matter which one that you bring in. Even though it was nerfed, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Tonfa from MW2, but like I said, you can do it with any weapon, any melee weapon. That's going to be easy for the crouched melee kills. Now, for our actual butt of the gun kills and our melee kills, we can combine those two challenges and get them done at the same time. And how we do that is by taking any weapon that has the option of attaching one of the muzzle brakes that under the pros is listed as a melee damage increase. So for this particular gun, I'm using the Rem 9, which even after the nerf is still pretty good, and I have it built for tac stance, hence why we're using the S-37C DL breacher device, S, or just breacher device for short. This is going to give us a slight penalty to our ADS speed, but a good increase to our melee damage, and also a little bit of a bonus to our hip-fire tac stance spread, which is obviously not relevant for the video, but it does make the weapon a lot of fun to play with in tac stance. So we'll be taking that in as our main weapon, and then the Tonfa simply for the crouched kills. You don't actually need the melee weapon, you can do it with the butt of your gun, but to make life easier and faster, we're going to actually have a melee weapon. So let's go ahead and jump right into the zombies match. Containment level doesn't matter, but if you have at least 12 on the containment level, that will help with the cost of buying perks. And then your first objective is going to be to actually gather gear in the game up until the point that you have at least Pack-a-Punch 1 on your gun that has the breacher device on it. This way we can knock out those first two challenges right off the bat. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about what you need to do once you're in game. Remember, it's going to be a bit personal preference. Having the perks Juggernog and Quick Revive will make things a little bit easier. If you have the perk Elemental Pop, that's actually going to make things a little bit more difficult, so don't buy it. I bought it just because I wanted to have all the perks. Anyways, if you forgot to bring in a Semtex or Frag Grenade, make sure that you go ahead and acquire one. This way you can do the grenade challenge. If you need more grenades, you can always just stow your grenades. And then make sure that you have only one of the grenades equipped. As long as you have one grenade equipped, or you use your last grenade, so like if I chuck this Semtex grenade, the icon goes gray, then I can go to an ammo station, refill, and I grab 2 brand new grenades, plus I still have the 2 that are in my inventory. With that being said, you go ahead and get whatever Pack-a-Punch rarity you want, whatever combo, do missions or whatnot. It's up to you. Make sure that you have both of your weapons good to go. And you're now going to start to hunt wonderful special zombies. So there's lots of different ways that you can do this. My personal recommendation is to go into low threat zone and either do eliminate the bounty targets, raid weapon stash missions, or bounties. You can also go into the tier 2 or mid-threat zone if you're feeling comfortable in your upgrades. Go to the infested strongholds, and usually there is 1 to 2 mimics at each infested stronghold. And then, of course, the other option is to farm exfil, whether it be in the tier 1 or the tier 2 zone. It's completely personal preference on what you want to do. Just to get started, the easiest way is probably to do these big bounty contracts in the low threat zone, because this is guaranteed to spawn a special zombie. They're going to spawn about an average of 250 meters away from you, and there will only be one. Now, the downside to doing this is the fact that there will be some other zombies around them, and sometimes for whatever weird, wacky, random reason, these enemies will simply just keel over. They'll just kill themselves. So obviously, if you are doing the throwing knife challenge, which I already have completed, what you're going to do is you're going to find whatever special zombie you want, keeping in mind the ones for the big bounty bounties, they will actually be stronger and a little bit more damaging than the ones that are just located around the map. If you happen to get a nuke, the nuke will do damage to the special zombies. Regular special zombies, it'll bring down to about a third of their health, and the big bounty ones, it will bring down to about like 3/4 of their health, roughly. So I am using this big bounty one here just because it's a little bit easier. Obviously, Manglers and Mimics are going to be your best bet. Disciples can only be found in tier 2 or higher, and they're kind of a pain in the ass. So for the throwing knife, you can either shoot and weaken the special zombie and then just use your throwing knives. If you're using the ether blade, it can be a little bit buggy in tier 1, but you just keep throwing your ether blade at the special zombie until it dies. Very straightforward. So for melee kills, we can use an actual melee weapon, or we can just melee with the butt of your gun. And to show that this does in fact work, even if you have a throwing knife or ether blade equipped, we're going to go ahead and get it via having the ether blade equipped, which is going to change our melee animation from the butt of our weapon to the actual stab of the knife. So just bear that in mind. But if I wanted to do the whole, throwing knife, I could just use a throwing knife, or obviously I can weaken this guy with my ether blade. Now, as you see, my ether blade is really doing absolutely minimal damage, but it is doing damage. So if your weapon is weak enough, you can use a projectile-based weapon and, put a couple of bullets in just to lower their health bar. Keeping in mind, though, it is possible with Brain Rot, or it is possible with the Elemental Pop perk to actually turn a special zombie, and if you do that, it's not going to count for your challenge. However, you cannot turn the zombies for the big bounty. So right now, I need one melee kill, and I need one melee kill with the butt of my weapon. We're going to go ahead and get those. Just to be clear, you can see that I have the challenges tracked since they added that feature. And I am stabbing with the ether blade as far as the animation, but I have the attachment for the weapon so that my weapon melee is doing more damage. And we're going to go ahead and kill that guy. And then you'll see that, we get the little pop-ups for the operator kill with the butt of a gun, or special melee or special zombie melee kill with the butt of a gun. It's a real tongue twister. And we also got the one for having just melee kills. So like I said, it does work. Obviously, of course, the game is trolling me and giving me brain rot. For right now, we need the Semtexes, and we're going to repeat the same process either with another big bounty, a open world just special zombie that we encountered, or via a raid weapon stash, or via summoning in the exfil. We'll do the exfil later because you're going to get more zombies than what you need and can easily be overwhelmed. That is the unfortunate thing that I mentioned with these big bounties. We're not even over here, and the big bounty target killed itself. So that's why I cautioned about the whole annoyance of doing the big bounty tasks. Alright, so here we are for our next mission, which is going to be the grenade kills if you are so daring to do them in a actual zombies lobby. Keep in mind, I had to get rid of my regular ballistic weapon so that I could move around the map faster, because these big bounty targets kept killing themselves while I was trying to do this. So normally you would weaken the enemy, the big bounty target, via just attacking them with ballistic weapons that do low damage. Unfortunately, I just have my melee weapon, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use the ether blade a little bit. And we'll use the ether blade to go ahead and get this creature down to low health. However you wish to get the target down to low health is entirely up to you. Get them down to low health, and then get your Semtex grenades ready. This is where if you have PhD Flopper, it will help in terms of actually making this a little bit easier for you, because you're not going to blow yourself up, but definitely this is the worst challenge, and it is far, far easier to do this challenge in multiplayer, because obviously operators, well, they don't really require that many grenade throws to kill. So special zombies, on the other hand, are a little bit different. Once the special zombie is at low health, which obviously will be easier on an open world special zombie as opposed to a big bounty target, go ahead and give it a nice face full of explosive. As you've seen, that Semtex barely did anything at all. And you have to be careful that things like the Hellhound explosions don't get the kill. But as long as your grenade gets the kill, you'll go ahead and complete that particular challenge. Now you see we have all of those challenges completed. Because I only needed one for the video. I did the rest in multiplayer, but I just wanted to show you how it's done. At which point, if you used up all your Semtex grenades, you can go ahead and simply get more Semtex grenades at any point. But now you need 10 special zombies crouched, and you have to kill them with a melee weapon. So the easiest way to do this is at a tier 2 exfil, calling that in. The second easiest method is with a tier 1 exfil. It really is just personal preference at the end of the day.
Have eyes on a pack-a-punch.
So basically what you want to do is go ahead, go to a exfil zone, call in the helicopter. If it's tier 1, this will be a little bit easier. If it is tier 2, you'll get more special zombies, but it will be a little bit more difficult. It's very easy to die doing this because you don't have that much maneuverability, and what you need to do is you need to crouch, and while you're crouching, just melee the crap out of the zombies, and ideally the special zombies that spawn. This is especially true for the tier 1 exfil. The faster you kill the zombies and the special zombies, the more that will spawn each time. You can use the trick to make more spawn, but it can be a little bit difficult. Again, make sure that you're crouched, then melee the special zombie and kill them. At the tier 1 exfil, you'll usually get 2 to at most 5 if you're fast enough per time you call in the helicopter. If you go to the tier 2 exfil, yeah, I've had 10 or more in a single attempt of calling in the exfil. So it really is just personal preference and depends on how much time you have in the game. Every time you fail to take the exfil helicopter, keep in mind, it does take away a bit of your containment streak progression.
Right, general action. We need evac ASAP.
Copy that. We'll only get you after nicely.
Learning zombie kill.
First strike team. I'm almost there.
Fucking hell!
Shutting down. Give me a mic, saver. Faster as I do. Fire that.
And there we go. We just killed our 10th special zombie with melee. As I said, this is kind of nutty if all you're using is your melee weapon to fend off all of the zombies at an exfil, even with the fast melee speed of the Tompa. I did use the trick to go ahead and get a few more zombies to spawn, but at the end of the day, it is still pretty crazy. Just make sure that you don't slide and melee the special zombie, because that does not seem to count. You actually must crouch and then melee the special zombie in order to get that to count for the challenge. You did see the pop-up in-game, but just in case you don't see the pop-up in-game, then, you know, maybe grab 1 or 2 more special zombies after that, and then go ahead and get out of the game. I'll meet you back at the main menu and show you what the actual weapon looks like and what it does. Alright, we're now back in the lobby. You can see that I have the Soul Render unlocked. We completed all of the challenges. All of these challenges can be pretty much done in one match of zombies, with the exception of the whole get 15 special zombie kills with frag grenades or semtexes. That one is extremely hard to do in just a single match, but very easy to do in a single match of multiplayer. So there is your beautiful Soul Render sword. It is a pretty cool looking melee weapon. Of course, there is one other option now that you have this unlocked. If you want to, you can actually go ahead and take this weapon over, you know, check out some of the zombies' camos for it. If you want to do the multiplayer camos, personally, I think the Borealis camo looks really good on the sword, but hey, you know, to each their own. There is a unique effect with this weapon, so just bear that in mind. It is pretty cool, and that is that it has 2 different attack patterns. One specifically designed to actually negate someone using the riot shield. Activision even confirmed that in a tweet, and it's not a terrible weapon in zombies. It's just a little bit well, it's a melee weapon, so, you know, you're